What's up, everybody? You are listening to the Matt Madness Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. I'm your host for tonight, Alo Aaron Lloyd. I'm joined with my guy, Act2 Fly, Eric Trembicki. How you doing, babe?
Doing great, baby. Doing great. All around the world.
That drink's not in the shower. So, as always, subscribe on all podcast platforms, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. And head over to Ringside Collectibles. Use code MMAD, save 10% off your order. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to thumbs this video up, turn your post notifications, and subscribe. And leave some comments to show some love. And thank you to all the new supporters, new subscribers to the YouTube channel. Welcome. You're very much appreciated. We had a couple of weeks and hope you guys enjoy what you guys are getting. So, Bestie, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks? What have you been watching?
What I was up to, can't really talk about it on the podcast. Just the regular stuff. What's been going on in Dynamite. I'm way behind on Collision. I haven't really caught one of those. I think I watched half of last week's episode just to see if there was some stuff going on. The weekly, Raws, SmackDown always a couple days behind, and then I guess Backlash I did see, at least the majority of it. So yeah, just staying up to date with the latest product. And then for some reason earlier today, I did watch a December 02 episode of Raw.
Which one?
You'll remember. I don't know why. Like the picture, and it's funny. It's like the image. If you're on the cock and you look up this episode, it's the still image, but it's the one Flair's in between Hunter and Shawn hyping up the 2 out of 3 falls Armageddon match, and Hunter is telling him he don't got it no more. That he's now the showstopper. He's now the main event. Just good chills, good vibe. Arguably the best iteration of Kane, I would say, aside from debut Kane.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna be in a handicap match with 3-minute warning. I feel bad for 3-minute warning. What? Doug, so much character. It was I don't know why. I was just skimming through and I needed something. Oh, I don't know why I never saw. And I hate when it does this, but like they now got this category on Peacock for like pick your favorite style of match. And for some reason, I was just scrolling through it. I saw a table, and I was like, let me just go see what random table matches pop up. But the main event, I paused. I'm watching the entrance of it, so I saw everything except the main event, which is a mixed 6-man tag tables match. The Dudleys and Trish versus Victoria, and I'm not sure. I can't recall who it is. They haven't came out yet. I don't think it's Edge and Christian. Maybe it's Edge and Christian.
It's not Edge and Christian.
Sorry, Jericho and Christian.
Okay,
Jericho and Christian, maybe. That actually, I'm pretty sure. I'm positive that's her partner. So
because at Armageddon it was a 4-way. Jericho and Christian were the tag champs, and the Dudleys had just came back.
Yeah, because they reunited at Survivor Series, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm finishing that up. What about you? What have you been watching?
I didn't really watch much. I was prepared to review Backlash last week, but that's the only thing I really watched. I thought the crowd was fantastic, and that's added to my bucket list now to go to an international show because that's like the kind of the crowd that you want to be around. They took over the show in a positive way, and we like that here, not dealing with crowds in negative ways. But I give the show a high slobber knocker. I talked about it being kind of like a house show card, and the crowd actually did add to the show and my rating. But I thought every match was good. And my favorite match of the night was the opening match with Owens and Orton against the Bloodline, Solo and Tama Tonga.
Tama's debut.
Because one of my favorite things that they don't do quite often, and maybe it's because there's not like a really hot crowd all the time, I love when they start a show with chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets the crowd into the show. The crowd's already hot.
The stipulation during during the entrance.
Yeah, I really did enjoy it. But I thought the entire card was really, really solid. The crowd showed out during that match. But one of my favorite moments of the night was actually Randy Orton because him and Owens came out first, and hearing the crowd sing voices and his reaction to it, he was like, wow, he couldn't believe it. So I thought that was really good. But overall, really good show. Yeah, other than I have not really watched that much wrestling wise in the last 2 weeks, other than Backlash. But next week we have a royal flush of stuff because we have.
Quick
Go ahead.
pause. I got to ask before we get off the topic of Backlash. I'm going to obviously show some bias here. I love that you're adding that to your bucket list. You know, obviously the rumors of Mania might go to Europe. I don't know if that'd be something we do, but I'd love to go to an international show. It's my damn self. But I do got to ask, crowd preference, or which do you think was hotter or better, Backlash 2024 or Backlash 2023?
I'll say 24 because they don't like Puerto Rico. WWE they kind of put their guys like the Hispanics on the card, so there was a lot of amped up for Zelina Vega, and of course Bad Bunny.
Had a Bad Bunny concert,
yeah, you got a whole Bad Bunny concert. Bad Bunny, the biggest artist in the world, and going against Damian Priest, who people love. So it was Hispanic versus Puerto Rican, well, Rican versus Rican. We got that. So there was a lot of excitement built around that. But the Paris show, they were just hot the entire show for everybody and everything.
Strong response. I think you over delivered in the response. Yeah. Obviously, I'm biased. I thought that was awesome, but I mean, it was almost like a cheat code because, like, my favorite thing I always take away from it is Bad Bunny's entrance. Like, he usually always comes out to Booker T, and for him to come out to Shambaya, which is a song that it's a song how a lot of people got introduced to him. It's, you know, you got the Ric Flair hook, and that crowd just went batshit crazy. So definitely my bias to it. But yeah, my apologies. You're talking about it in the coming weeks.
Yeah, in the coming weeks, next week mainly. Next 2 weeks we have a bit of a royal flush because we have King and Queen in the ring next Saturday, and then we have Double or Nothing Sunday. So hopefully, me and you can both cram both those in on the weekend because time's going by. Because I just realized, like, really Memorial Day weekend's already here. That's wild to actually think about. But we'll be able to take care of that, and I'm looking forward to the whole next weekend because I think everything's going to be a pretty good weekend, jam packed. Do you have anything for AEW wise before we move into WWE stuff?
So I haven't really finished tonight's episode of Dynamite. I thought it was silly. Initially, I thought it was silly, the whole thing of Dave playing the backstage footage from All In of last year. But I love this new Elite storyline. Little kind of bothered that we had Kenny come back for him to be like, again, take care of your health, but like for him to come back and then now he's like going back for surgery or whatever. Like, I just wish if he was coming back, we really got him, like, let's get him back. You know, he was out there hitting his finishes on I don't know if it was Jack Perry, but like, you know, he got some physicality out there. So I who knows? Right now, we're teased with this, you know, Anarchy in the Arena match, the new Elite, which is the Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry versus FTR, Bryan Danielson, and Eddie Kingston. But Eddie Kingston's now injured.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up. I'm going to go. So besides that, I love what AEW is doing. I love what AEW is doing with that storyline. Jericho got booed again. Please retire tonight. You know, him and Hook. Hook, I think, is going to be in a multi-man match on Collision, and the winner, I'm guessing, is going to be able to face Jericho for the World Championship. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing. It's not All In, it's not All Out. The flagship AEW pay-per-view is Double or Nothing. That's where it all started 5+ years ago. So I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing. It's always a must-see show for me. Very, very excited for it. But before we talk more WWE, because I assume, do you have anything else AEW-wise?
No.
So
the one thing I will we had I don't want to, I guess we could say viral Mercedes Moné clip from our last episode. My phone would not stop going off.
Our phones would not stop going off.
You're right.
I'm saying, like, what the hell happened?
No, so I guess.
So I mean, we should talk about her like every week now.
Yeah. So our clip, I cut it up because I thought you had a better take than I did. So I kind of like chopped it up. So I said,
got you thinking clearly.
So I chopped it up with my first statement. I thought my first statement was really solid, and then it followed up with yours. And then after that, the influx just kept going on. And I still got notifications even going into today.
I was about to say, yeah, this week they still hitting.
Yeah, but have you seen her contract signing tonight?
I did not get to that. I got probably 40 minutes from tonight left. So
okay, so I did think what she did last week was better because it was small because she just had that backstage segment, and I haven't watched the contract signing. But going off of last week, I think they're kind of starting to learn. And last week and this week was the best she looked. I'll put it that way. So. Go ahead.
Well, our preview for Double or Nothing, we're really going to get into Mrs. Monet, and we're going to bank on a good preview for her. However, before we get into more WWE talk and everything that we got going on, one more thing outside of WWE, which I haven't been viewing enough of it. If there was a Falls Count Anywhere podcast where we could, discuss more of this, like outside of WWE stuff, there are some, and again, I only know it from social media presence. It seems like the current iteration of Bullet Club has some pretty good upcoming wrestlers, and not just that, strong on the mic, strong promos. And the last one of them I'm probably referring to, I'm saying there's probably 4 of them. And David Finley's probably the last person I'd be referring to. So a guy named Gabe Kidd, let me make sure I got the name right. Gabe Kidd beat Eddie Kingston for the New Japan Strong Heavyweight title.
That was over the weekend, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you see anything of that?
I know the Bucks came in after.
Do you know anything about this Gabe Kidd guy?
No.
So this Gabe Kidd, I wasn't following him, but I kept seeing because of the New Japan page, he was getting featured. He was cutting promos, dressed up, black button up, black slacks. He was on the news, I guess, out in LA. And dissed AEW. If you're a fat nerd, you watch AEW. If you want a soap opera, you watch WWE. You want to watch the real shit, watch New Japan, order the pay-per-view. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. Who the hell is this guy? And it's basically all his promos I'm watching. He's out there, kind of gritty. He looks a little smaller than Eddie Kingston. There's a quick glimpse from their press conference days before their match. Basically, he does he gives him a suplex from the ring apron outside of the ring through a table, and Eddie's feet go up and the back of his calves smack the guardrail, both of them, nasty. And basically, he's got bruised bones from it. So on both legs. That's why he's he was in bad shape during the match, post match, blah 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 blah. But awesome, cool for this guy winning the title. I don't think he's the lowest guy in the Bullet Club. He's definitely not David Finley. Aside from him, the New Japan junior heavyweights. There's 2 guys there's one of them I started following a year ago because I was scrolling and I saw a promo he cut. He did old school 2018, 2017, doing one on social media to self-promote himself. This guy Clark Connors. So JV Toys did custom, basically white straps because white straps are in. He did a white strap IWGP tag belts for them. So that's kind of I think they just won them back, won them for a second reign. But this guy cut some gnarly promos. I'm trying to remember. I just started following his tag partner. His tag partner is some guy, Drilla Maloney. I guess because I think both of them split up are in the Junior Cup, and they were their promos during the press conference we're both strong. So again, I don't know. I don't know if we still got Pash's New Japan World lock-in.
You're the only one that still ever inquires about it.
I don't think I've asked about it since like Moxley was like challenging for like the US title, but I'm just saying there's a couple, I assumed this last iteration, like, when the Good Brothers went back to WWE, I was like, all right, Bullet Club's dead, dead, dead. I know there's something going on in TNA. But I'm just telling you, some of the clips I've seen from these three cats and the stuff I've seen from David Finlay, especially his stuff with Nick Nemeth, formerly Ziggler, I'm like, all right, cool. They really got 4 strong characters in that group right now. So it's definitely worth catching a listen, or even if you don't want to dig up a match. I have no idea what these guys do in a match besides that suplex I saw to Kingston, but I'm telling you, their promos, their clips are entertaining as hell. Entertaining as hell. So definitely, besides David Finlay, 3 guys, the current IWGP Junior Tag Champions and the strong New Japan Strong World Champion. But 3 characters definitely worth looking up. Especially you got, this guy, he's out there on the LA News, helping them do the weather. It was hilarious. But yeah, that's all I got outside of both AEW and WWE. Definitely stuff to look into.
Yeah, I'll look into it. So we have the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. They went underway. Now these brackets, I wasn't quite sure where they would go because in the past, the King of the Ring isn't always taken as seriously as it should be. Sometimes it's taken seriously. Sometimes it's like semi-mid, and then sometimes it's like, okay, whatever. So when I saw these brackets, I was like, okay, like they brought all the stars out, especially for the men's side.
It does suck. It's been littered with injuries.
Yeah, it's been littered with injuries. But when I first saw the bracket, I was like, this is star-studded. Randy Orton, Gunther, AJ Styles, Jey Uso. They had Ilya Dragunov in there. I was like, okay, like they're actually kind of making this a serious thing here. Now the women left a little bit to be desired, especially with getting the SmackDown end on Friday, because I was all for Chelsea Green winning, but that seems to be having a serious element towards it too, with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill on the SmackDown, and like I said, the Raw side has a little bit left to be desired. But what are your thoughts on the tournament in the bracket so far?
Man, it's really exciting. You really hit some good points there. I'm going to ask you a couple questions because you got that Stump Halo brain. Has Orton ever even been in a King of the Ring tournament?
If he did, it was in 2002.
Yeah, which he long hair. I feel like he was injured at that point, but if so, he might have, and maybe was knocked out early round.
No, he had just came in. I know he came in like in May, so he might have been in the first bracket, in the 02 bracket. I'm almost positive. I'm gonna check right now.
So I'll get in my thoughts. Aside from the injuries, it's pretty exciting. I love that my boy Jey Uso got that big dub this past week. I love stuff like that because it's like, my heart, like I really wanted him to win, but I'm like, man, are they going to have Ilya take a loss? It doesn't hurt him. Come on. He's losing to one of the most over people. I feel like it's obviously slaughtered for Gunther to win this. I'd love it to be Jay. I mean, yeah, he's got an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but he's got nothing really singles to his name, especially for being a replacement for replacing McIntyre. If he could replace McIntyre and still win it, man, that'd be really neat. But like the mystery factor there is really cool. Also, I love the fact that I believe they're advertising that the winner of this will get a championship match down the line, which we haven't heard stuff like that since the 90s.
It was since 2002. So I just double checked.
Orton
wasn't in the tournament, but I know he debuted in May of 2002.
Okay. So what you're saying is 22 years ago, because Brock won it, and that's why he faced The Rock.
Yeah, that was the first time that they had that implication where the winner will face the champion at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yes, there's definitely there's a clear black and white implication, but we go back to 96, 97, whatever, 97 when Hunter won it. And it meant something. We know he got skipped over the year before and Austin won it, 316, Austin whoop your ass. But there was that trajectory back in the mid to late 90s. Like, you win it, you going up, you going up, you going up. Then, unfortunately, the one Billy Gunn and Edge won it, and then it was downhill from there. It's never been the same since.
Well, it was actually mainly the Billy Gunn thing because everybody else pretty much. Well, actually, I'm lying because
He's older than The Rock.
Ken Shamrock.
I'm sorry. He's older than The Undertaker. I saw that meme the other day. Billy Gunn is older than The Undertaker.
Yikes!
I knew he
I
was
had no
old,
idea. Wouldn't be able to tell. But yeah, because it started.
I sent it to my brother. He was like, "That's gonna be me."
Because when I looked at, because the only two that stick out, and you'll forget they won King of the Ring, was Shamrock in '98 and Billy in '99. And we've always heard the knocks against those two. Like Shamrock, I guess he wasn't dependable. That's what Bruce Pritchard will always say on his show. And Billy, he just never really got it with Billy.
I'll argue 01 Edge because he won it, but he wins the IC title. But when did the world title come? 6-7 years later? Well, that was that was perseverance.
So the thing with Edge
perseverance.
The way they built it, because him and Christian, they were a tag team. So they were trying to split them up. So they did and split them up for that singles run. So they split them up, and then they had him go on to be King of the Ring. Then he won the IC title at SummerSlam. And then after that, he was probably one of the biggest baby faces in the company until he gets hurt in February of 2003. And then you don't see him for over a year. Then he becomes this monster heel. So Edge kind of for what came out of it, Edge got more out of his King of the Ring run. Other than if you don't count the world title, he got a lot out of that run, especially more than out of Shamrock and Billy Gunn did. Now Angle went right to the title in 2000. 4 months later, 97. Hunter, it took him a while as well. It took him 3 years. So if you want to be fair, but Edge, I think Edge had a good King of the Ring run. It's just the fact that it's all about if you take it seriously. What was that?
I agree. You made some good points. And a quick short tangent, because I thought about you the other day, because you did bring up that 01 Edge Christian feud. Have you listened to him or Insight with Chris Van Vliet?
Not yet.
Super good episode. I feel like now, again, concussions, everything he's been through, I feel like, sometimes, your recollection on years past. Obviously, what him and Christian have done in AEW has been very enjoyable, very good. You could say maybe they never had no proper feud in WWE. How do you rank that 01 feud they had during the invasion?
They only had 2 feuds, so I would rank it. I would say it's better than the AEW one.
Okay, so by 2 you mean that one and AEW, right?
Yeah, because it was so drawn out. Because when the King of the Ring tournament went underway, for example, Edge, Christian, Kurt Angle, and Rhino, they were a clique. Edge and Christian and Kurt were Team Ek, no pun intended. So they were telling the story of those 4. And then Edge won King of the Ring, being predominantly a tag team wrestler. And then the night after King of the Ring, he's awarded the trophy, and Christian steals it. And he's rocking it, whatever. And I'm not going to get it, but I'll still love an Elite with Edge with the trophy. I think it'll be cool. And then after that, Christian is still holding the trophy the entire time. Edge wins the IC title.
I think Jax has that. I made that trophy, so I think maybe you could put it with your
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it. 'Cause I'm curious. I don't remember seeing anybody with that. But they told the story. Edge wins the IC title at SummerSlam. Then at the SummerSlam 01 pay per view, there's a backstage segment where Christian is so excited for Edge. But actually, let me rewind a bit. Christian interferes in that match allegedly inadvertently, spears Edge and it almost calls from the match, but Edge wins anyway. And then right after the match, Christian's holding the IC title and hugs Edge. Backstage segment, he challenges Matt. He went to William Regal's office, challenges Matt Hardy for the European title the next night, loses. And then he challenges The Rock for the World Heavyweight for the WCW Championship and loses. So it was built up because he couldn't win the big one. and
Yeah,
he got
like
a
I
bunch.
feel like that feud was awesome. So I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear it. Like you put it over. When did the ladder match happen?
no mercy. That was the last match of the
Pittsburgh.
feud.
Pittsburgh.
Was no, that wasn't Pittsburgh. It was
That's
St. Louis.
Unforgiven.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is
Oh,
where
you
Christian
check.
won the title.
You
Christian
remember?
won the title. Christian won the title at Unforgiven. That was in September, and Edge
Yeah,
won it back the next month at No Mercy.
it's weird. I don't know the last time I watched that ladder match between the two of them. I feel like I did watch it like 6, 7, 8 years ago.
We
But like,
reviewed it. We reviewed it.
boom. All right.
It's in
So
the archive, guys.
yeah. So how many years ago?
About 6, 7. You're
right.
pretty much spot on.
All right, so I almost like it takes away because I was going to say maybe I watched it 6, 7 years ago, and maybe I didn't. And I was going to say if I didn't, I still vividly remember that one man concerto as a kid on top of that ladder. But yeah, crazy good. Glad we both finally look back on that feud. Back to modern times. Sorry for the tangent.
Yeah. So you talked about. I don't think they said this, but from who's in it, I'm interpreting that this is going to be made a big deal, and whoever wins this is going to get a world title shot this summer. So whoever, like I said, the heavy hitters in this tournament is going to be made a big deal, and I agree with you that it is somewhat set up for Gunther to win. But there is something I had like argument. I like if we recorded last week, I had a few more points, but they're going to get disregarded because of what happened in the tournament. Because one thing was I wasn't sure if the semifinal matches were happening at King and Queen of the Ring, but they're actually happening on Raw, which I don't like. But I actually let that go.
I like that too because, again, my favorite King of the Ring pay-per-view of all time, 01, you had them semifinal matches plus the finals, and maybe more than just that.
No, it was King of the Ring. So
I'm tripping because Kurt had 3 matches.
Yeah, so King of the Ring. No, so King of the Ring 2000, they had the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in the same night. For whatever reason, they did them all there. But it was usually just
a wild time. Vince was beating them young kids up.
But in most times it was always the semifinal matches and the final match. Because my whole thing, what I really enjoyed about King of the Ring was you have to go to distance. Mm-hmm. That was one thing that I really did enjoy about it. And I'm upset that they didn't do it around this time. But I understand they kind of trying to keep that 5-6 match card thing keep going. So one thing I want to talk about, like I said, I think Gunther is set up for Gunther to win. I thought Dragunov would have beat Jey Uso, but then I had an argument for Jey Uso to win because Jey Uso, he's been on fire for the past year or so, and arguably for the last 3 to 4 years. But since he's got his main single run, he's at the top of his game. At a certain point in time, when do they give him something to be validated? He won a tag title with Cody. That's all he has to show for it as a competitor. Now I understand the thing of, he's over. I understand he's over. He doesn't need anything. But at a certain point in time, you guys got to kind of give him some kind of validation. It doesn't matter. Throw him out. Throw him the IC title or something. Fans. Yeah, throw him something. Because like the name main event Jey Uso, as over as he is, he has to have something here.
And he's had that name for years.
Because I thought he would have lost to Dragunov, but Dragunov won. Jey won. And I'm like, okay, I don't think Jay's beating Gunther here because you can't beat Gunther twice this quickly. And it's like after this, what's next for Jay?
Ain't gonna hurt him.
It's like what's next? It's like what's next for Jay after this? So I'll give me your thoughts on.
Here's my thing: if Jay wins, we can't have Jay win and not if Jay wins, he's gonna become world champion. You can't have him lose to Seth, lose to Priest, and then whoever's the champ at the time. I don't like that. I love Jey Uso. Love him. If him winning the world title, that's super cool to me. I'm again not trying to take nothing away from him, but I'd love him to win the IC title probably more than anything on this fucking planet. I wouldn't be mad if he won the US title. I mean, we got Logan Paul over here, 206 days as US champ and defending it 2 times. Get the fuck out of here. Like, he would really help that title. It's not the brand he's on. I love the idea of him winning the IC title. It's the one that his cousin The Rock held, his cousin Roman held, his dad held, his uncle held, so many family members held. That's that means the most for him. I'm holding a world title here. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I would love him if he wins the world title. Wow, who the fuck saw that happening? I think that's awesome. If he could win the world title, so cool. I'm here for it. Just the IC title, I just feel like obviously Gunther did amazing things with it. I think Sammy's already helped with it. I'm this close to buying the replica of it. I just but Jay wins it. Jay wins it. It's ordered that night. No promo code needed. I'll be out here yeeting all
Full
over
price,
myself.
full price.
Yeeting all over myself.
Because I'm going to go with because I have this theory about somebody else in the women's with a Queen of the Ring bracket, but
arguably that bracket's more interesting.
We'll get to that in a second, but I think Jay's a hot candidate for Money in the Bank.
So, yeah,
he has to get something. That's something.
We just had a heel with it. When's the last time we had a baby face with the Big E, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because it's typically with a heel. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited either way. I don't know what other thoughts you got towards the men's tournament. I'm here to win or whatever else before we get to the women's.
No, I think it's all set up for Gunther as well. He's the whole king. I'm not sure if they're going to go all in on the king gimmick because sometimes they go all in on it and sometimes they don't. But just being noted as the king of the ring for Gunther, I think will be good, especially for him losing the United States title, and that moves him on to something else, and he can stay away from the Intercontinental title. You can protect him until he has his world title match, and then after that, it's pretty much what are you going to do with him? Is he going to win it or is he going to lose it at that point? Now on the women's side, very interesting. The Raw side, not so much. SmackDown side, yes, because we got Bianca facing Tiffany in the semifinal, and we got Jade and Nia. I think Bianca or Jade's winning this. It's just a matter of one of these two again disqualified. If I had to pick, I would say Jade wins because Bianca can be had. And I think Tiffany Stratton is a high candidate for women's Money in the Bank. She keeps they were talking about how she wants the pink briefcase, and I think she'll be the perfect person to carry it around in the future. But I do think Bianca or Jade is winning this. If I had to lean with somebody, because I keep saying the women's marquee match will be Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania next year. If I had to lean to this, I think Jade would get disqualified, or because they're not going to have her lose. I think somehow you get a disqualification. And because Bianca Belair cannot be a heel. She just can't.
So, NXT, she proves she can, but they may not do it on main roster. My own thing is, I love the idea. I'm waiting. I've been waiting for you to bring it up. Give me a 30-second roundabout because I got to triple check this alarm I'm hearing. But am I the only one getting inaugural European Championship vibes off this?
What do you mean? Oh, they destroy the crown?
No. All right, sorry, I was making sure.
Are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the wrong thing.
Sorry to the listeners. I had to make sure it wasn't the truck getting jacked. So we got 2 tag team champions in this.
Oh, okay.
Obviously,
so
it's
Austin
SmackDown.
Sean.
SmackDown went. Yeah. So I'm thinking, we had Davey and Owen in the finals. Technically, if I'm correct, semifinals, it could be women's tag champ versus women's tag champ, potentially, correct?
Yes, but it's not going to be. You're not giving that away on SmackDown.
Never say never. It's a whole new
that's their marquee WrestleMania. They're not giving that away.
So
like I said, Bianca, I might take it back because
I could see both getting screwed.
I don't think so.
Bianca has obviously lost matches, but she don't lose often. Now, here's the thing. Let's say there's some formidable tag team on SmackDown. One person, let's say Piper screws Bianca. I don't even know who Bianca's going to be facing.
Bianca faces Tiffany.
Okay. Let's say Piper and Chelsea, who there's clearly a feud with these. What if they go screw each girl? Because who's Jade facing? Nia?
Yes.
All right. What if Piper and Chelsea come screw them in each match? Boom, that clears it up. That way they're out, but like it's not a clean win, so it's not going to hurt them, and it's going to only help level up them tag belts because then you're going to have these girls hot, and we're really going to get a good match, a good tag match out of it.
So I'm going to retract my statement. I do think Jade will win her match. I think Bianca is going to end up losing hers by some kind of fuck finish. Because I said, there's no way they're facing each other in the semifinal match on SmackDown. Because now I think that they're going to push Jade to the moon here. And being the queen of the ring is an excellent accolade for her. And like I said, she just screams heel.
So that's a funny thing you bring up. Man, I think she's doing really good already as a babyface.
Oh, she is. But she's just a natural heel. It's like
she is. But I would argue Bianca probably is too. But like you can't tell me her work as a heel in NXT didn't come more natural to her. And like the way she talks when she cuts her promos on her opponent is heel-esque sometimes. She's just so cool and is so inspirational to little girls, you can't make her a heel. But with the thing with Jade, here's the thing. I thought it looked really cool. When Jade won her match on SmackDown and she's out there, I don't know how many times we saw a women's tag champion out there, like besides Boss and Hug Connection, how often was a singles competitor out there winning and then like after in their singles match holding up a tag belt? I mean, as long as you and I've been a fan, how many times we can name dozens of times that there was a guy out there, maybe Road Dogg had a singles match, he won. He's out there holding a tag belt. Or RVD was a tag champion with Kane or Booker, and he won a match. Hey, I got my belt. Eddie Guerrero was tag champion with 9 different people, and he's out there. He won. Yo, tag champ. Celebrating. I can't think of many images unless it's Sasha or Bayley. And again, it's not a long history of belt. But it looked awesome. I'm sitting there. It looked great for that belt where I'm like, man, Jade's out here, freaking star. Just hit her, forget the name of her finish, but she hits on her Piper. And then, she gets that pin. You can tell she was struggling. She gets up. She's holding her back. She's selling it. And then she's out there holding that women's tag belt. I'm like, man, you don't see one person holding this. I'm like, man, sign me up. Mark, I'm sold out. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Like, I'm more invested in those belts already.
Well, the WWE's formula, especially for for a real long time now, is your tag team partner usually accompanies you to the ring. That's been their formula for a very long time now. So that's why you don't really get those still shots anymore.
Well, yeah, but we got a whole new brand of cereal.
Yeah. Hunter, he ain't going to change that much. But the only reason they didn't come out together is because they had back-to-back matches.
He ain't General Mills. That man's post.
So I do think – so I'm going to change my mind. I do think Jade does win this entirely. Because I do think she'll beat Io Sky at King and Queen of the Ring.
So the only reason I want to go against you on that is I don't know. I'm not getting mad at all. I just look at it. So she's going to be winning. And I don't know what she gets a crown. They don't do a trophy. But so she's going to have the crown and the tag belt. I think it's cool. I hope you're right. I just don't. Like when I was looking at the bracket last week, I'm just like, neither of them are winning. Like if they were both going to the finals, I could see it happening. But potentially both of them in the semi. And I know you're ruling against that. I don't know. I see both of them getting screwed.
Yeah, and then like I said about Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany Tom's upon us because that match.
I wish Tiffany Tom was upon me.
You had a close enough experience, but Tiffany Tom's upon us, and I do think that thing with Bayley's going to continue because I think she had a great showing at Backlash, and I'm looking forward to it. I think Bayley's title reign may be really short because I think it's going to be undeniable to give Tiffany the title. So with that, who do you think the best King of the Ring has been? Because like I said, like we just talked about it.
Ever?
We've had like real kings, and we had like people who just know it as King of the Ring.
Let's. I'm not trying to be sexist. Let's just joke and entertain real quick. Who is the best Queen of the Ring so far?
You only had one.
Really? Was it just
Zelina.
Zelina?
Yeah.
Cool. I was about to say she's the only one I remember. But wasn't that like 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
About 3 years ago.
What same year as Xavier, and they just haven't done it since.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Then it's not as much of a joke. All right. So, wow, the best King of the Ring. I love this topic. So we're going strictly on that. We're not just going off the gimmick because, all right.
You can go off the gimmick too.
Nah, I'd rather not. Well, I don't know. I mean, did Harley Race win King of the Ring? Is that why he was King Harley?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited we're getting a non-King Harley elite. That I'm gonna buy a super 4-pack just for that figure.
Yeah, and I can't wait for you to name me a favorite Harley match.
It happened in a bar. You're a real piece of shit, I tell you sometimes. It happened against Ric Flair was my favorite. All right, the best King of the Ring.
What did he call him at the bar?
My favorite's the quarter story with the pool table. I don't know what they called him, but would it be appropriate?
What?
Should I just say this is my favorite King of the Ring?
That if you want, that's fine.
I feel like that's not the right answer. Edge 101.
It was his the favorite and the best. How about that? Two different because those are two different things.
All right, now keep in mind, I don't. So like 02 to 2010, did they do it every year? They skipped a couple, right?
They skipped 02, Brock won. They didn't do it again until 08, and Regal won it.
When did Booker win it, or did he never win it?
I'm sorry. 06. That's when Booker won it. That was when they brought it back for the first time since 02. So Booker won in 06, Regal won in 08, 09, one or the other.
So keep in mind, like those years are like irrelevant to me because I wasn't watching.
Mm-hmm.
Austin. All right, so Austin's 96, Hunter is 97, 98 is Shamrock.
Yep.
99 is
Billy.
Wow. 99's Billy. 2000's Angle. 01 is Edge.
And don't forget, you have Macho King as well.
Yeah, all right. All right. Man. I think I'm just because we talked about it. In my opinion, the best was Edge. My favorite's Austin. What we got out of it, we got the 316 promo. I'm probably in bad taste with my answers. Neither of these people are people that like dubbed the King gimmick, but like, I think that's whack. Like, I think that's whack. It's not for everyone to become king. Some people like, hey, you can be a king. Everybody can be Lawler. Like, obviously, the thing worked for Booker. Again, I wasn't watching then, but like, King Booker doesn't really like hold no weight to me because I think of Invasion Booker, Harlem Heat Booker, early 2000s Booker. So yeah, I really think Edge because more and more when I think about it, like he held that with the IC title simultaneously. That's cool. That's cool.
Well, the thing with that is once he won the IC title, it was kind of like pushed to the side.
Yeah, but I feel like it helped him get to the IC title.
Oh, it did. It did.
So yeah, like as much as I tried discrediting it earlier, where I said, "Hey, look, yeah, he won it, but he didn't go to the world title. He won it, and then he got the IC title shortly after, and then a US title. Bad motherfucker. Oh, maybe the only person ever hold the IC and US title simultaneously.
If you want to say that, because it was a unification match at Survivor Series, but then
he walked in with the US.
Yeah, the next night, everybody who unified their titles had both their titles with them. So you do have that shot of Edge holding both the IC and US titles.
Trophy too?
No, the trophy was gone. After Christian broke it, after
That
Christian attacked him and broke it over his head, broke it. it was never seen again.
I was gonna say that was probably the first night he banged Lita. Jeez. If I pulled up with a trophy and 2 belts, I'm touching something.
So my favorite was Edge, and the best I think is Booker, because WWE was in a bad time in 06. It was terrible. Oh god, it's a shame. It was one of the things I still had when I moved here, but it's just like God. But Booker T was perfect as King of the Ring in 2006.
From the clips I've seen, I agree.
Perfect. Like I can't wait to get the Elite again to put it on this shelf because I'm looking forward to it that much.
When he won the U.S. title again, was he King Booker?
No,
he wasn't. So he was just regular Booker T.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he have 2 reigns with the WWE belt or just 1?
With the world title?
No, the U.S. title.
Because
the world title, he was King Booker, right?
Yeah, he was. I think he might have had. I know. Did he have a feud? I think he run it twice. I think he had a feud with Cena for the U.S. title, and I know he had a feud with Benoit, where it was like a best of 7 series or something like that. So I would say 2. Yeah, I would definitely go with 2. But yeah, King he was perfect for that. Like I would never have expected that because he took that ball and ran with it. And then after he won the title, he also got a world title match the next month at Bash when he beat Rey Mysterio.
Quick Google searches. It just looks like regular Booker T with this belt.
Yeah. It was only Booker T as a U.S. champion. He wasn't king.
You're the fucking man. Because the picture I'm seeing, he's wearing a John Cena nameplate with it. So
okay, yeah, I know he had a feud with Cena over it, and I do know that he had a feud with Benoit. It was the best of 7 series.
I damn near argue, like, obviously because I'm thinking like the invasion angle, and I think that was his first and only WCW US title reign. Like that belt looked great on him. That WWE US title looked damn good on him.
Well, I never liked that belt. Huh.
Oh, you're indifferent. I thought when it retired, you grew on you a little bit.
No. I always like bring the WCW one back so bad.
All companies, all promotions, NWA, New Japan, WWE, WCW. Top 2 favorite U.S. belt variations.
I like the New Japan one. Did they change that?
Yes and no. Wait. It became the, I don't want to say United Kingdom. Will Ospreay changed the design, and then I believe it either got unified or is scarred.
Okay, well, the New Japan one, I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah, that's one of the most beautiful.
And the current one, I really like a lot too.
Oh hell yeah! Whoa, I did not see that. Like that's badass.
The current one is like like an AI version of the WCW one. Because I was always a big fan of the WCW one.
AI version. Okay.
Like you know how you tell the AI to make something, they'll make like a
no. I get it. I'm just like, I love the answer. Just like again, like so. I'm so surprised and taken back. If I gave you 3, would you say WCW is your 3rd?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I love that list. I'm about to sign off. I thought that was such a good answer. That was really good.
Yeah. So, Edge favorite, King Booker, the best.
Cool.
And
again, King Booker, I probably would agree with, but again, like I couldn't comment on like Harley or Macho because I wasn't alive.
You all good?
No, that'll be a mark. I had to bring this in for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, Marcus. Yeah, so those are my kings. And something else I want to talk about too. We have, I don't want to say we're having trouble in the Judgment Day. Damian Priest doesn't trust Carlito because Carlito's trying to getting out of the LWO.
Why did he shave his goatee? He looks like an idiot.
So Carlito's trying to join the Judgment Day, show his loyalty. Priest doesn't bang with him.
I wouldn't let him in the Judgment Day without the goatee.
So Priest doesn't bang with him like that. And then we have Dom out here liking Liv Morgan's pictures, which I fucking love that everybody's like picking up on every little thing about this. Because a couple weeks ago, I did say, I did say that while Rhea's gone, Dom's going to be very lonely. And Liv is not a bad person to spend your free time with. And there was like that clip of them leaving a room backstage together, and you just talked about the bandana. And Liv has said she's coming for everything. So we have Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch for the world title at King and Queen of the Ring. Is this where Liv Morgan wins the championship?
I would love it. We don't need Rebecca with the title. It's a cool notch where there's been 4 battle royals for world titles, and this is, she won it there. Yeah, I mean, if Olivia doesn't win it now, she's got to win it like ASAP right after. And then you can also get her start, with her whole joining the Judgment Day, whether it be the current iteration or a new one without Damien. But yeah, I'm looking forward. This storyline is hot.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Your birthday, me and you wearing purple bandanas.
So the thing with this, I'm really enjoying it because I'm not quite sure. I'll have a full answer for you next week by my prediction because Liv, she's doing the heel stuff, but she's not 100% heel because the things she's doing are validated. Becky Lynch punched her in the face backstage. So for Liv to get her lick back, that's warranted. And winning the title earlier, that will take one notch off of Liv coming after everything. So she checks one thing off the list, then the next thing is Judgment Day. And I'm not sure how long Rhea Ripley's out, but this story is going to start to amp up in the next coming weeks. If Liv does not win at King and Queen in the Ring, she will win at Clash of the Castle if this match is on that card. And also remember, Becky Lynch was supposed to be taking time off with Seth. So we kind of have to assume that this was just the holdover. Well, Becky is the holdover. It's just a matter of time of how she is the holdover. So I'll have a full prediction for you next week, but if it's not King and Queen in the Ring, it's definitely going to be Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, 3P to international shows. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping because I'm excited about the storyline. I'm hoping the title changes right now, just so we can get Liv. I could see Dom trying to sell it to the gang. Like, yo, if we let Liv in the group, we're getting the belt back too.
Yeah, and then the fact that she has the belt, she'll have some kind of power, and she'll add something to the Judgment Day because, like I said, they're in shambles right now. So the fact that she has the title and she comes around, she could probably somewhat whip them into shape, give some kind of order back to that group because since Rhea's been going, there's been complete chaos. And one thing, speaking of chaos, next thing, the final thing, Bloodline. We had a debut at Backlash. One thing I want to say, Paul Heyman is a Hall of Famer. But this might be his best work. This might be his best work. He looks so lost. He looks so confused. He looks so hurt. It's perfect. He is acting this role to a T. Like, it had him so shook he's lying to get Roman Reigns out the draft. Solo checks him on it. First of all, he got Solo a new suit that fits. But Paul Heyman has been excellent in this role. And they followed up perfectly on commentary at Backlash. They said that Roman Reigns left Paul Heyman in charge, but that doesn't mean he's in control. And he has no idea what's going on. He can't control Solo for anything. He's looking at Solo with fear in his eyes. This may go down to be Paul Heyman's best role ever. Thoughts?
Well, I have a hard time. It's just too soon for me to agree with that because I'm Paul Heyman's biggest fan. Everything he's done's been good. So, yeah, I'm excited about it all. I'm going to skip everything about Paul Heyman because I don't think this is his best work because I can just go on for 7 hours about great stuff he's done. I love what Triple H, what WWE, what Nick Aldis, what anyone involved with SmackDown has been doing with Tama Tonga. How is Tama Tonga a multi-time New Japan Tag Champion, never open weight champion, which is in 2024 is the equivalent of the European Championship, multi-time, never openweight champion, multi-time New Japan Tag Champion. He debuted better in WWE than 80% of people that come up from NXT. Strong. I love it. I know his brother's already been there. We had the good spot with his brother, who used to be Sin Cara's muscle, out there. But I like Tama. Tama's got a good look. We now at this point have 75% of the original Bullet Club in WWE all at once. Between Tama, Carl, and Finn, we just got to get the underboss over there. But it's cool. It's really cool. I like that. I like everything with the storyline. It's arguably, despite it being like the B team or like lower characters, new characters, it's arguably the hottest thing still going on in WWE. The whole bloodline thing, because it's exciting. Like whether they're new or not, like if you're a smart fan and you know who Tama is, it's still interesting. If you don't know who he is, it's interesting because what's he gonna do? Is he gonna be good? Is he gonna talk? What's happening? And what's Solo doing? Solo's talking a lot now. Solo used to not talk at all. So I'm here for it. Everything going on. I'm overselling it when I make this statement. It's almost pre-Mania-esque where it's so good, I'm just waiting to see what happens next. But it's so good, I'm just waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah, and the fact that there's no Roman Reigns, there's really no Usos involved right now. There's just a bunch of questions. So it's like, okay, who's going to show up next, and what's going on now, and what's Paul Heyman going to do? Like I just talked about. And what's Solo going to do? Is it? We know Jacob Fatu signed, so it's like, when's he going to show up? Reportedly, he's going to be on Roman's side or the Uso side. But there's so many questions of what's going on because like there's no Roman Reigns, and seeing Solo as a leader that's new. So there's a lot of substance to this entire thing. So definitely a lot to look forward to when it comes to the bloodline. Got anything else for me?
Yeah, this is something you brought up earlier, so I'm going to circle back. I don't want to be pessimistic, but like I love the idea and I hope because I love Jey Uso. That's why I feel like him winning a world title is far-fetched. I'd love it to happen. I'd love him to win the IC title. I'd love him to win a singles championship. However, we're already Backlash. We got 2 shows and then a SummerSlam, and then we're going to have a show, maybe 2, before Survivor Series. Do we have enough time if the rumored booking happens and if we're going to end up having Roman reassembling the original bloodline, him, Usos, maybe the Honorable Usos, Sami Zayn, versus this new bloodline? I absolutely hate the term. I get it in hindsight. Roddy Piper was never the world champion. Scott Hall was never the world champion. Andre the Giant had the world title and then sold it. Like, there are people that don't need this belt, like don't need a belt. I hate that term. I don't really know how you felt. I feel about that. If we go from now to Survivor Series, Jay gets back with his brother. If he wins King of the Ring, and he doesn't win the title. Let's say he challenges for IC title again, doesn't win, or he doesn't, or he just loses the tournament and he's just in lull until Survivor Series. Is it wasted?
If he wins nothing, I would say yes, because now we're at the point where we're still waiting. It's like, all right, what's up? You teased us with the Gunther thing. Like, reportedly, he was supposed to win that match, but got changed last minute. But it's like, all right, everybody you just named, they got something. Piper never won the world title, Scott Hall never won the world title, but they were always well renowned. But they got something.
But both
Jay hasn't gotten anything.
Both are IC champs, US champs, and
but Jay got nothing. And this is the thing, give
good
him
argument back,
something.
by the way. I didn't think of that as it came out of my mouth. Yeah, so I'm glad you agree because like I literally cringe and get angry every podcast, every wrestling show I listen to when they say like, well, the Usos are getting back together. I'm like, no, 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 keep them away. Like rockers them. I don't care. Like all no disrespect to Jimmy, but like screw it. All disrespect to Jimmy. Jay, you couldn't have told me when I got back into wrestling and they came out to no music and did that Samoan thing and they had the face paint and they did that for years and years and years. They had a tag title reign and then they were coming through the crowd when the SmackDown drafted in 2016 and then up until the lockdown and then WrestleMania 36 when we had Kofi versus
Morrison.
John Morrison versus Jimmy. Was it Jimmy in the ladder match?
I don't remember which one. It was. I don't remember which one.
I feel like it was Jimmy, but I could be wrong. No, it was probably Jay because Jimmy was hurt, and then we got into that. But like, if you could have told me that, look, I'm telling. I know Kofi had already had his world title run, but we're going there a year later. I'm like, we're having the tag titles defended in a triple threat ladder match. None of these people involved in this match are ever going to be world champion. You're telling me Jay, like the story he's on, the run he's on, man, world champion or intercontinental. I love when they refer to as it reads on the belt, intercontinental heavyweight champion. I need to see my man get a singles belt as the belt mark of the show. Need to see it.
Yeah, he needs something, and me and you, we're not going to disagree on that. He needs.
Man,
something.
We didn't disagree much tonight.
That's not a bad thing.
I'm still blushing about you putting the IWGP
I
US
told
title.
you. I told you. I always loved that belt when it came out. I told you that.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you didn't molest mine up enough. I don't know.
Got anything else for me?
I mean, I could talk about belts for another 20 hours, but that's about it. So next week we'll be back for our regular listeners. We're going to preview 2 pay-per-views. We're going to give you a good snack size episode where we preview them both. Besides that, it is what it is, and that's all it's going to be.
All right, guys. So that's it for the show. For Illinois, for X2 Fly Air Tram Bicky, we'll see you guys soon.